Hey everybody, the cameraman here. Today I'm bringing you a story regarding myself and a certain public defender known as Robert Marshall. Mr. Marshall is assigned as the public defender to Mr. Coleman in the matter of People V Coleman. Mr. Coleman is accused of shooting up a Greyhound bus earlier this year in Oroville, in which his alleged actions resulted in injury and as well as death of at least one person. Now, Mr. Coleman's alleged actions have gained him a rather significant media attention in the beginning of his case during the arraignment period. During this, Mr. Marshall, his attorney, never really said anything in regards to opposition towards the media. But on his most recent court date of April the 6th, 2022, when there was considerably less media that day, only being one affiliate, that being Fox News, the Fox 40, the local Fox affiliate here in Butte County, he decided to bring up identity as an issue this time around. The judge asked, so does that mean, are you fully opposed to the media request? To which he said yes. Afterwards, the request was granted despite his opposition. And then when the hearing was over, Fox News decided to do an interview with Mr. Marshall, in which I decided to take the opportunity at the end of their interview to ask him a question about the opposition to media when his client's face has already been distributed through the Sheriff's Department and District Attorney's Office through press release.
It used to be in Chico, but in the middle of a murder trial, it was really difficult if I had a half hour back to the office and a half hour here to go running back and forth to try to get something done. So
I see. Thank you. Well,
Sure.
You've been very, and you, yes, your card right there. Thank you. I appreciate it. So May 11th, next court hearing.
yeah.
And Mr.
Thank
Marshall, Cameraman Investigations.
Yeah.
I just had one question.
What's that?
In regards to
I
in regards to your client's identity and the opposition to media, I mean, do you have any comment on that regarding the fact that his picture has already been posted across multimedia platforms? As you heard, ladies and gentlemen, I tried to ask Mr. Marshall his question. As you heard, ladies and gentlemen, I tried to ask Mr. Marshall my question, but as soon as he heard I was Cameraman Investigations, you didn't see it, you heard the audio, but he just immediately walked away from me. Now, I did not hear a deputy or see a deputy signal or call him. Mr. Marshall later claims in this video that he had to go and talk to the deputy, which I can understand completely. You know, he has a job to do too, as well as I have a job to do as well. But he just boldly walked away from me. You know, he's not the first person to ever try and avoid my questioning. You know, that's the media. That's what we do, ask tough questions. But I do not recall any sort of him saying, hey, I got to talk to the deputy or anything like that. If he did, I might have had some more respect for him, and it may have not have come into my mind that he is a running man. And what do you mean by running man, Mr. Cameraman? Well, I say running man because, well, he kind of ran away from me to get into the next courtroom. Either I guess he was running to go to the deputy or running from my questions. Either way, he kind of had a run to his pace and speed. And also, that hearing for Mr. Coleman, I was told in the morning by the deputy in that courtroom that normally he's called first, but because his attorney hadn't shown up to court yet, they were going to continue it out a little longer and have it called later in the morning. So whether he's running for my questions or running late for court, that's where I get the impression that he is a running man. So I thought to myself that that'd be the end of it, and next time I'll see him, just, hey, that's running man, and that's what he is. But the next day, I was speaking to an investigator in a case unrelated to anything Mr. Marshall's appointed in, because it was her first day coming to court in Butte County and working for a client, and I was just explaining to her some of my experiences and what goes on here at the Butte County Courthouse, and pretty much letting her know that, hey, somebody walking away from your questioning is going to be the least of the aggressive acts that are done upon, you know, people here at the Butte County Courthouse. And then I explained to her, you know, like, she wanted to know what I mean by that, and I said, well, hey, I asked a simple question of an attorney yesterday that took the time to do an interview with Fox News, but when an independent like me asked, it appeared that he didn't want to talk, and he ran away from my questioning. And then continued on with our conversation. Mr. Marshall happened to be at court, and when he came out, I pointed to him and said, hey, there's Running Man himself, speak of the devil, because I kind of like to, when I talk about people, say, hey, that's the person, because she didn't know what he looked like, but I didn't really care if he heard me or not, because that's my First Amendment right to that opinion. And, sticks and stones may break his bones, ladies and gentlemen, but names should never hurt him. But apparently, I guess he was hurt by that, because he decided to confront me about my passive-aggressive remark.
Instead of being passive-aggressive like that.
Well, it's passive-aggressive when you run away from me and can't answer a question. So why are you opposed to identity issues when your client's face is all over the media? You think that's the first excuse I've heard when I've tried to file? The same excuse has been used against me.
You want to shut up and listen? I'll tell you why. It's because the fact that law enforcement agencies choose to abridge my client's rights doesn't mean I have to go along with it in the rare instances where I can stop it. Silence is acquiescence, okay? That's what it is. I'm an advocate for my client.
Was that really hard to say? Now next time say, I got to go talk to the bailiff, and I would have respected you more than just running away.
You know what? Next time, I'm not talking to you at all.
That's fine. That's why I don't bother to ask questions. I only ask it because you opposed the one media that bothered to show up. See how violent these people are around here?
That's why people think you're an asshole.
No, I think you're an asshole too, but everybody's entitled to your opinion. But court rules say differently. Court rules say differently, Mr. Marshall. Now, you heard at the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marshall said he was never going to speak to me again and that there was never going to be a next time. Well, he contradicted himself, because today, on the 28th of April, 2022, I was at the Butte County Courthouse this morning, and as I was leaving down the hallway, Mr. Marshall passed me and decided to put his hand up to his eye and make a crying motion and go, "Did I hurt your feelings?" And of course, baby behavior don't intimidate me, so I told him no, it didn't. Get on the level of attorney Kevin Sears and call me fucking crazy, and then we'll talk. That's a story for a different day, ladies and gentlemen, but that's other attorneys talking about me. To which he brung up something about he didn't say good morning to me or something, which wasn't even about why Mr. Sears said the words he did say about me. And hell, I don't even know what Mr. Marshall was talking about. And I don't really care if he said good morning to me or I ignored him or I said good morning to him and he ignored me. And I don't care. We're not there to say good morning to each other. This is a murder trial issue we're dealing with. But enough about Sears, back to Mr. Marshall. That's why he brung it up, because he said, well, Sears, you misquoted him. And I said, I don't care, because that issue is 2 years old at this point. It's mute. We've gone through a lot more things from 2 years ago. So, but then I thought to myself, well, hey, I don't want to get anything misquoted again, so maybe I'll ask Mr. Marshall, just to make sure, that I'm not going to hurt his feelings if I post the video, because I don't want to misquote him on anything. So when I walked out of the courthouse, I retrieved my body camera, and right as I was about to hit record, Mr. Marshall came out of the courthouse. I thought I was going to have time to do a little bit of an intro, so I quickly hit my body camera. I thought I hit the record button and slapped it on my backpack to record before I proceeded to ask Mr. Marshall if I'm going to hurt his feelings by posting this video, and if there's anything he wanted to get off, his chest, so there's no misquotation. I thought I heard that beep. I could have sworn, ladies and gentlemen. You know me, I am very, very adamant about recording everything, and I am really kicking myself in the ass, but Mr. Marshall, he's probably really happy about what I'm about to say, because at the end of the day, he can say, well, oh, that's not true, it's his word against mine. But I have a little snippet at the end of the video I can show you that somewhat verifies the fact that we had a conversation, because unfortunately, I guess I was still booting up and didn't record. So Mr. Marshall's exact words, which was mostly incoherent rambling about how I was like trying to be some 1960s celebrity wannabe, some, I don't know, Tony Danza, I don't know who the guy's name is. You know, he's obviously an old dead celebrity if I don't recognize his name. That I'm some wannabe like that, and my media requests are, you know, it's like, I don't care, you know, it's like, whatever, you can say whatever you want, sticks and stones may break our bones, but names should never hurt us. And so, you know, but as he walked away, I told him, I said, okay, just want to make sure I wasn't going to hurt your feelings. And I guess that triggered him, because when I started to go away, he said, if I were you, I would turn my car on and drive it into the garage and go for a very long ride. And, of course, I said to him, you know, in response to that, I asked him, are you telling me to commit suicide right now? And he goes, if I were you, I would take my car, turn on the ignition, drive it into the garage, close the door, and let it run. And I told him, so you're saying I should kill myself? So that's why I'm bringing this video to your attention, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't really have any hurry in posting this, but the fact that Mr. Marshall is going to play these little games of crybaby and tell me to kill myself, I think it should be known to the public that this man is harboring some sort of violence, aggression towards me, that he wants me dead, and he openly expressed that to me. So I'll let my little clip of whatever I got there, you know, play, and I'll leave us with a message from Mr. George Takei in the matter of telling people to kill themselves. Commit suicide, really? Telling me to commit suicide. Did you just tell me to...
Hello, I'm George Takei, and over the years I've spoken out on civil rights issues, from the Japanese-American internment to Proposition 8 in California. The recent suicides across the country compels me to speak out again. In particular, you are a douchebag. That's right, a douchebag. No person, whatever their personal or religious beliefs, should ever wish death upon another human being. You apologize for your poor choice in words, but you are always going to be a total douchebag. I can only suspect that you have some, shall I say, issues to work out. And when that happens, I sincerely hope you do not kill yourself, because no one should ever wish that upon someone else.